episode is brought to you by GameFound. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Hey, everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. What's happening?
I am Mike Delicio. Welcome.
We have to have a theme here, guys. We cannot. We were talking about James Bond before this, so Z's still in that mood. Hey, everybody, we want to say quick thank you to some of our Kickstarter backers before we get started here. I want to say thank you to Bonnie Mann, to David Thomas, to Yana and Crane. They said something like that. They're Danish. That's what it said in there.
I love it.
And then Corey Chu. Thank you all for sponsoring the Dice Tower and being one of our backers. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So we're taking a look here at Kickstarter and all the projects that are ending in the next 10 days or so.
All of them?
No, all the ones.
Single one.
That somehow piqued my interest. Now, if we looked at every single one, this would have to be a daily show. And it would be there'd be some days where it would be sad.
I think overall, I mean, the average Kickstarter probably does not interest any one of us that much. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you look at every Kickstarter, the average of that, or any one person, because there's so many different interests. It would be a sad show. I'd watch it. It'd be.
Yeah, I know you'd watch it. But why? Oh, let's just take a look here. So right now, according to KickTrack, there is on Kickstarter. It looks like there is 265, maybe, I don't know if, no, 395 active projects.
Okay.
So that's
of every kind of project? No,
just tabletop games.
Tabletop gaming. Okay.
Oh no, I meant everything.
Yes. Food products, clothing, transportation.
Books.
I want it all. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we know you want it all. All right, well, let's get started here. We're going to go through these, giving you what we think of them, and we're starting with the Spielbox English Edition Board Game Magazine 2021. This is one of the few in-print magazines left.
Yeah.
It is, in my opinion, probably the best of the lot, if for the only reason I like looking at the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. If I remember right, this is the magazine that when I worked at the game store that we would get. I'm pretty sure that's the case. And I remember it as being, it was one I enjoyed every time it came in. I would flip through it. It would oftentimes come with promos. So I think this is the same one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I really enjoyed this magazine.
We get it, Mike. You used to work at a game store.
Well, the fact that it does come with promos is something that it can offer that an online magazine necessarily can't. This was printed in German for well over a decade before they ever did an English version. I remember when I first heard about the English version, it was very exciting. Yeah. Because I used to get a copy of this when it was in German, again, just to look at the pictures. There's an article they did with me one time, and I just read it, and I was like, I don't know what they're saying, Tom Vassell. And I still don't know if it was a good article or not.
Tom Vassell.
Should translate that, Tom. Yeah, this is good. I know a lot of people get it just for the promos, and I don't think every one of these issues will have a promo, but this is nice. It's not cheap. A subscription to this is not cheap, and I think they only send you 6 issues a year, I want to say. So it's one every 2 months or 7.
Oh, no, they said it's 7 a year. Well, 7 for $45. What's that? $6 a pop?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Especially since you've got to imagine these are relatively small print runs. You know what I mean? They're probably not going to be printing much beyond the subscription.
That's true. I just wish there were more issues a year, I guess. I'm used to monthly things.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard to compete with the internet because they have to really turn these around or the reviews aren't relevant anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
How much is just the digital subscription? And do you will they send you the promos?
No, that? They will not send you the promo.
Digital subscription is not that. It's 38 euros as opposed to 40 for the print. Now, the print probably does not include shipping, but.
Right.
And I don't know why they have the print and digital subscription. Why would you get both?
Because you want the promos.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want the promos, but you're going to read it digitally.
Right. Because you probably, I wonder, would you get the digital access before it actually got sent to you? You see what I'm saying? So
Probably.
That way you read it as soon as it can, and then the promos come after. That's just a guess.
All right.
That's cool. I'm glad to see it's still going, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we jump to season 3 of Sleeve Kings. And
please show the guy trying to tear the sleeve apart, Tom. Let's cut right to the chase. Let's cut right to the chase.
That was great. Great.
There we go. Look at this. Hulk. Must destroy sleeve.
If you're doing that to your sleeves, I don't think it matters, right? At this point.
Hey, man, and if your sleeve can take that kind of punishment, kudos to that, man. That impressed me. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Okay, because I know plenty of sleeves that do break.
Can you run it over with a semi? Because that's another product we saw. Can you run this over with a semi and still have a working card?
If you used to buy a lot of sleeves, this is essentially a break-off company from Mayday Games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it right? Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy who used to own Mayday Games. He split off, and I did think it was cool that he was showing, like, he was doing that from the factory where they're making them. That was neat.
Mm-hmm.
Mayday sleeves, well, I guess now they're Sleeve Kings. Traditionally, these are not known for being the best of quality. Very few people have said that, but they're also very inexpensive, and they have a ton of sizes.
Yeah.
They have a lot of sizes that nobody else has.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're still going heavy into the sizes, but they're trying to improve the quality, maybe. I don't know.
No, well, they do. The penny sleeves, they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cheap, but they're still inexpensive, these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did a nice job of charting their prices out. Yeah.
Band Grab, a music-themed card game. I believe the figures here are what we would call American chibis.
Yeah.
They look a little soulless in that picture.
A little bit. Yeah, maybe
like
the fact that they have no eyeballs.
Yeah. All the characters, I'm realizing, unless they're wearing glasses, then they look fine.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they look kind of scary. The no eyes is kind of scary. There's a project coming up later on where they have no faces at all. And I think I'd rather have no faces at all than like dead black hole eyes.
Yeah, I guess if you're going to choose between the two, no face or soulless eyes, let's go with the no face. That's probably a better choice there.
I think so. This is very much a take that game. It looks cute. It's got a nice little look to it, but it's a take that game through and through.
It is. I like the theme. I think it's, Tom has mentioned this before, and I'm right on line with him that even if it doesn't play through much in this game, I like musical themes. I think I'd like to see more of that. So I like the idea of putting a band together, and that's not the first time that theme's going to show, or the last time that theme's going to show up this week too.
That's the truth of it. This is like really well designed art that I don't like.
Right. Very true.
I think, but
the guy there on the left, though, the guy on the left, you know who he looks like? You remember the old video game Tapper?
Theodore Roosevelt?
No, Tapper. Remember the old video game Tapper where the guy was running around? He had to get the drinks and slide them down the road.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He looks just like him.
That's funny. You're right.
Yeah. Now you can't unsee that now.
Oh wow. And he's holding money, so he just got paid for pouring.
That's right.
Great.
That's how I hold money. If you ever give me money, I spread it out in my hands, and I'm like, yeah.
Just grab it in the middle like that.
That's right.
Queen Games once again doesn't even pretend they're doing a Kickstarter.
No.
No video, nothing. They're like, you want it? Just buy it.
But they should just put through and through Stefan Feld. They should just put Stefan Feld's name up there, no other information, and watch the money roll in. That's all you need.
What's weird, though, is it's not coming out till June. So it's not made yet, I guess. This looks very abstract. It's really hard for me to tell what the game's about. I got distracted by these custom inserts for Merlin. No, I did. I was like, ooh, that's a different game.
I'll tell you what. Here's what I think. Here's what I think about this one. I agree with you that it looks, like the theme is just artwork, which I like. Sure. I like the look of it. But I like, more than anything, that it looks like a different Stefan Feld game.
Yeah.
That's true. I actually went to BGG to see what it was a reprint of.
Which is nothing, right?
And nothing. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. So
I do tend to like that. Sorry, Z, go ahead.
No, that's it. I just like it.
Yeah, no, I tend to like his lighter games, more so sometimes even than his heavier games. So I'll give it a shot, even though it does look very abstract.
Yeah. The thing it reminds me of the most is actually Roma, his old 2-player game.
Yep. I can see that.
We'll see.
All right, I'm very biased on this next one. Freedom 5, Sentinel's comic board game, because this is a Dice Tower Essential, which looks like it's doing okay here.
Doing well. Doing really well.
This is a cooperative game which uses the Sentinels of the Multiverse. And as much as I like Sentinels of the Multiverse, I got to say, whatever artist they got doing it here is doing a much better job than that original artwork.
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
They're not the same. It's not the same look.
Well, it's like the same look, but good art.
But
I don't know how to explain it.
Yes. Yeah, it's the same look, but competent.
I didn't hate the original art, but it looked amateur.
Yeah.
This looks like a professional did the same style.
Yeah, it's more polished. I think that's probably the word I would use, more polished.
Yeah, this is a cooperative game in which you are trying to stop a bad guy, whoever that bad guy happens to be. You're working together. He has a bunch of villains. It didn't start with miniatures, but there's miniatures now to get. In fact, there's multiple pledge levels to the point where you can get a pretty pricey one. Like, it's $100, right? And that comes with miniatures and everything else.
Right.
You want more, $169, but we're not done. Get painted for $199. Now that's where I'm kind of tempted because I like painted stuff.
Yeah, me too.
That's not a lot more for painting it, actually, right? I mean,
well, it is actually, Z, because it's a little tricky because it's $99, then it's $169 for all in, and then $199 paint it. So it's actually twice the price for paint it. It goes from $99 to $199. If you want all in,
$69.
I got
If you want all in with the extra stuff, it's $375. But we're not done yet. You can get the playmat and everything else for $479, and there's add-ons. You can go broke. I don't recommend that, but if you do, it helps.
Keep going. Keep going. I'm in. Hit me.
I do like the look of those dice, too.
Like dice, though.
Yeah, me too.
Those are cool with that kind of explosion in the middle of the die.
It's neat.
It's a neat look. Yeah, if anyone has played the Defenders of the Realm or Defenders of the Last Stand, it's kind of based off of that system. We did a live play of it on the channel. You can check that out.
Yes. So, again, this one is one I'm obviously in favor of, so I'm excluding it from my pick of the week.
Yeah, me too.
Pick of the week. No, pick of the week. Yeah, I think our playthrough's right here. There it is. Yeah,
there it is.
Wow, there's a lot of videos for it.
Yeah.
Word. All righty. That's cool. Back it.
Yeah.
Or you could back Boy Band Builder, the card game.
Why not both?
This is the faceless one? Yeah.
This is like some style. I think it's like the 5th game I've seen where it's like no faces.
Right.
I don't dislike it, I guess. That one's weird. That one's just no features. And he's anyway, this almost looks because when we look at these, or at least when I look at these, I look at them in this order that you folks are now looking at them. When I got to this one, I was like, wait, didn't I just see this game? And I went back to that bands builder. Yeah. And if you watch that video, they're really similar sounding anyway, because it's like, have the right symbols, collect this many if you want a metal band, or if you want to. And so this is like, all the symbols across the bottom of the card, same thing. This one just looks more amateur than that game. Not that that game looks like a good game. It just looks more finalized.
Well, this is a good game. Yeah,
I thought this would look better.
Did you?
Like, I thought this looked like a better game.
Maybe.
Than the other one.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. You know, a little bit what the art style reminds me of, other than the lack of faces, is the Pursuit of Happiness. It almost has that kind of a vibe to it to me.
My problem is that this is a theme that if you tell me there's bands, I'm kind of in. If you narrow that to boy bands, I'm much less interested in the theme.
You're not in sync with this one, huh?
Now, stop it. You're both terrible. All right.
Man.
Next one.
It's time for you to get back to the streets, Tom, and get in touch with your boy band.
Stop. Bob. Chronicles of Warrow, Revolt in Heidenheim.
Heldenheim.
Heldenheim.
You've never heard of Heldenheim, Tom? Come on.
I've never had in one single sentence, so clearly denoted to me what I hate about fantasy games. Most fantasy games. That sentence does it.
Yes.
It's like, you're one of those games. Thanks.
But the thing is, OZ, I was thinking the same thing, and then I started scrolling through it, and I don't think it's like that. To me, it feels almost like just a card game. It looks like it's almost just like a little drafting card game, but they're making it out to be this bigger epic thing. I was really I had I was just thrown off because I saw that front image and the name, and I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those. And then as I was scrolling through, and I'm like, this kind of just looks like a quick little 40-minute card game, which might be good, but
the artwork looks like the cut screens for Diablo. Like if the guy's talking to you and so his face pops up, it would be one of these people. In fact, I think I've seen all these people.
Sure.
And that's my concern, is that the art here, while it's technically well done, oh my word, I've seen this a million times.
Yeah, it's pretty derivative, yeah.
I guess so, but it's well done. It doesn't bother me, I guess. Again, but it's because that fantasy garbage is all the same anyway, so I guess that's why it doesn't bother me.
Don't make a screen, Z Garcia.
Two things I thought about it, okay? The first one was, by the time I did get to those paintings, I was like, oh, this looks nice. Like, I like the look of this game. There's no denying that. I also have no idea, and maybe that's on me, but I have no idea how it plays, like what kind of game it is. I know it has cards, and I know it's a smaller game than at first I thought. I'm just not sure. Is this a deck building game? Is this a fighty game? Is this a co-op? Not. I didn't catch that. Nothing made an impression besides, ooh, cool looking bearded dudes.
Yeah. It looks like it's kind of there's little locations you're trying to loot, you're trying to gain control. So my guess is, and it's totally just a guess, is that it's going to be one of those like simultaneous card plays where you play things face down and flip them up and see reveal. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I got that vibe from it.
You're probably wrong.
Probably wrong.
You've never
Let's
been
go back
to
the boy band game.
Heldenheim.
No, let's not go back to the boy band game. Let's jump to Mark, who is doing his own boy band at some point in the future, and we'll be right back.
Heldenheim.
This week's Spotlight is brought to you by Ready Games. Penny Dreadfun 2nd Edition is a great London adventure that will take you to the year 1888 to Victorian England, full of occultism, British humor, and more or less historical characters. Queen Victoria has disappeared, armed with a sword, 2 axes, throwing knives, and a pistol. She jumped out Buckingham Palace window, straight into the darkness of the night. The rumors say that the Queen was bored and decided to conquer a new colony, hell itself. There must be something going on because London is getting quite hot. You will play as one of these many unusual heroes who, driven by various motives, will set off to explore London, which is becoming more and more taken over by the forces of hell. Find the source of the calamity and save the world. It sounds like it's time for a true adventure. For more information, please go check out the campaign, which is now live on Kickstarter.
All right, let's jump to a war game here called They Were Soldiers in Docto Hill 875, based on the climatic or aclimatic battle from the Vietnam War. In fact, there was a movie based on the same battle with the same name. Mm-hmm. On the subject, hey, it's November 11th. So to all veterans of all countries who serve their nations honorably, we salute you.
Indeed.
As we remember those, especially those who gave their lives for freedom. This war game actually has me kind of interested. I like the little plastic soldiers on top of the chips. Now, I'm hoping that the quality of the chips is improved. I'm hoping this is just a prototype.
I think it's just a prototype. Yeah, it looks like cut out of cardboard or something.
But I like that. It just has it gives it a little bit more of a vibe of those chips just don't do much for me.
Yeah,
I know people talk about the little toys, but you know what? Sometimes I like having the little toys. That's in fact what miniatures are essentially in games anyway.
Sure.
So the combination of plastic and chit seems to work for me.
It's just, and I'm going to be a broken record. It's just, I don't have a lot of background in wargaming. I know that this is obviously a large enough market because every single week we see multiple wargame projects. And so there are people out there that are buying them. And I guess one of the things that you can say is that we're not necessarily seeing the same war themes over and over again. That's something that it seems like we're seeing, from the Vietnam War. I believe there's going to be another one later on today that I won't, from a different conflict.
If you do historical wars, you kind of are tied to historical wars. There's only so many battles you can do. Like if you do World War II, you're going to do Barbarossa. That's one of the battles. The battle.
Sure.
So this is one of the bigger battles here. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I guess just a different way to do it.
Sure.
Don't Get Got. Secret missions with Shut Up and Sit Down. So Don't Get Got is from Big Potato Games, who likes to make silly party games. And in fact, we were shouting Don't Get Got at each other in the studio here for like 6 months straight at one point, I think. I think we would stick the game on someone else's
That's why I'm giggling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we'd be like, Don't Get Got. I don't know why. This essentially is one of those party games, and there are several of them out there, where you have to do something without people noticing you're doing it. If they notice that you've been got.
You got.
But the Shut Up and Sit Down folks have put their hand in this with their witty writing, and you can see that in the amount it's making. I'm assuming that a good chunk of the funding is going to Shut Up and Sit Down then.
I would imagine, yeah.
I would hope so.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. I actually haven't played Don't Get Got, but I've played games that are very similar to it.
I've been around people playing Don't Get Got. As a matter of fact, at Dice Tower West, I was playing a game with a group of people that, unbeknownst to me at the time, were playing Don't Get Got. And one of the people, I think, had to get somebody, I don't know what caused him to do this, but he accidentally poured water into his lap. But it was because he was trying to get somebody, and he did. And he stood up and shouted, "You got," and threw the thing down. And I was completely clueless. I had no idea what was going on. I'm looking around me thinking, but then they explained what the whole thing was about. So they were having a great time with it.
I don't know if you remember, Z, we played a version of this at Essen 2 years ago. And Kenny was almost ruining the game because he'd be like, "Can you go through that door and get something?" And I was like, "No."
Yes,
and he's like, "No, you got to go in there and get it." I was like, "I'm not going in there."
I think playing this game was ruining Kenny, I think is what you mean.
He would just hate you like, "Here, can you hold this?" I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. You would productivity around Kenny would shut down because nobody wanted to get got. So be like, "Do that. Can you help me with that?" No. So yeah.
Kenny's day-to-day life is just one elaborate game of Don't Get Got anyway. So I think it's a little redundant.
It is.
All right. Dice. I got you. Dice. But I'm really conflicted about these dice.
I feel the same way, and I know exactly why, and I'm conflicted for the same reason. Go ahead, Tom. Tell them.
Because there's cats on them.
They look great, right? But also the cats. I'm like, eh.
I don't know
matter
if
with you people. You monsters. You monsters.
No, I don't hate cats. I leave that for Tom. I just don't necessarily. You don't want them on your dice. No, like it doesn't add anything to me. You know what I'm saying?
I totally get it.
I like the look of a lot of these. Like I like the dice a lot. Those yum dice up top and those. I like that combination of colors.
Yeah.
Although that's basically Christmas die.
It's a Lucky Cat D20, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that they're a little bigger than standard D20s too. That's always fun.
I like those purple on black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're nice.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the cat, the stinking cat.
You never catch me being nice to a cat. All right.
You should be nice to cats, Tom.
Endless.
He's all talk.
Paleo-Americans. Now this is from a new publisher, Fantasia Games, but it doesn't seem to be anything else about this is new. The designer here is what's his name?
Stan Korinsky. I'm getting it wrong, but close to that. He did Rurik and Lockup and.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He is on fire as a designer, and it's Stan.
Johnny Pack is working with him on this too.
So
that's it.
The games that he's done Dice Hospital, which I like, Rurik, Lockup, Old West Impresario, which I really like. This is his fifth of decent size, I think. I'm in, because I mean, this actually has it almost looks like Rurik in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and he's working with Johnny Pack, who did Coloma and Sierra West. So I mean, this is a pedigree, and with the art by the Miko. I mean,
well, by the way, when I listened to the video, they said Micho.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I knew that, but I can never quite remember what the correct pronunciation is. So as long as I butcher it the same way every time, I feel like I'm okay.
So Tom's school of pronunciation, got it.
Correct.
Consistency first.
Correct.
It used to be Tom's slogan in college.
I don't even know if I have consistency though. So,
sometimes the slogan would be consistency last. So even that wasn't consistent.
Correct.
This looks really good. They're not fooling around with production here.
No, it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. I like the theme. I like the look of it. I like the designers. I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Excited, you say? I wonder.
All right, but wait. There's more excitement. Tater Freighter.
That's right, Tater Freighter.
Not that shrimp blimp.
Now, here's the thing. When I first looked at the art of this, I glanced at it and I thought, oh, it's a Japanese game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, oh, no, that's just a really bad font. At the bottom there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I like the art, kind of.
I like the art and the style. They picked the thing at least.
The
I like
cover
that more than the
beautiful art.
Yeah. Yeah, the cover I don't like. The cards are okay. I guess if there's a positive I could take from this is that on so many of these games, even these little card games, I'll go through the whole page and I have no idea what the game's about or how it plays. I feel like I looked at this and within 20 seconds, I'm like, oh, I could probably play this game right now without even looking at the rules because it's a very simple concept.
Yeah.
And it might be fun. I think it might be group dependent. I think if you had a fun group of people, it could be a fun game. But it's very simple to understand the idea.
Yeah, I think I like this concept is good, and I'm gonna give them some credence because I really like the Fickle Fairies game.
Yeah.
Or Fickle, I guess. But I thought that was a fine game with amazing artwork. This one, the artwork is not quite the same, but this company has at least a I'm gonna check it out thing from me.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Right on.
All right. Feed the Kraken. Now, when I first saw, I really hate this tagline, by the way. Feed the Kraken is not just a game.
Yeah.
It's an amazingly intense experience that will stay with you forever. All right.
Stay with you forever.
I agree with that. That's hokey. Yeah, I don't love it. I didn't even read it, but I don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I started going through this and I was like, it's another pirate game. It wasn't until I realized these are the same people who did Glenmore 2 Chronicles that I got more interested. Because
I don't get the impression this is just another pirate game either. It's like a social deduction game, isn't it?
Yeah. So the more I read about it, the more I got interested. But I got to say, that cover doesn't sell what they're putting in the game. Now, the video is great.
Yes.
They went to the bar, hired a bunch of out of work drunk actors who were pirates also. They're real pirates, I feel like. And
I think those people, I think those people might be the designers. Because it's 3 designers. It's 3 new designers. I looked into it because I was curious if this was a reprint because it is Fun Tales. And their last game was a reprint. It's not. Right. It's a new thing. 3 new designers. And my journey through this Kickstarter was, overall, I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great. But at first I was like, ooh, a pirate game. Ooh, Fun Tales. And then the dip came when I realized, social deduction.
Right.
Yeah, but they're saying it's a different kind of social deduction. It's a social
deduction. Of course they're saying that, Tom. They're not going to be like, this is the same social deduction you've played already. Get out.
You know what this game reminded me of, Z, was Mutiny on the Little Blue. That's an older game from Christian Edmondson Osby that he published way long ago, where there was a crew, you're on a ship and you'd go to different spots and you had to persuade the captain to take you with him. But one person was the mutineer.
Okay.
And when I was reading through this, it felt similar to that. And I like that concept. Now, I know they're saying it's different, but it actually does look different than a social deduction game.
It's a social deduction game that stays with you forever. I think that's what makes it different. Not all social deduction games do.
Mike. I love Kenny too much.
You got.
I also like these 3-dimensional draw and discard piles. I would like to get these for more than just this game, please.
Yes, indeed. Is the card cut too, though? I think the card is cut too.
No, what do you mean? No.
Yeah, look.
Oh, you think so?
That's a sticker. That's a sticker in the box.
No,
come on now.
It's a card. Cut cards.
That would be neat. That would be kind of neat.
Yep.
Yeah, this looks good. I like the look. I like the idea. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's different, like you said. But all the minis and stuff, it's an impressive looking package.
It is.
All righty.
Lots of good stuff this week. I'm telling you, this is a good crop, Tom.
Strong week.
Now we have commissioned The Call. Now, I wanted to play commissioned, and it just was one of those games I never got around to. I know Patrick's a designer. Sam really liked it back in the day. About early Christians, one of my problems, I struggle with this game, is I really like the theme. I think that's a cool idea, and I hate the art. I really hate the art.
It looks dated.
The game
it looks like old collectible card game artwork.
Right.
Yeah, and that's my problem with it. Like, I know I know this stuff, like Phoebe and Priscilla. These are people and stuff from the Bible, and that's interesting, and I'm kind of on board with that. But if you take a look at the commissioned art here from the regular box, and then compare that, for some reason, maybe it's the beards that hide it, but there's no beards on the new people, and maybe this guy just can't do chins well. Or mouths. I'm not joking here. I really feel like it looks worse.
Yeah, it does.
To describe it, the bearded people looked better.
I always agree.
Sam Healy. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. That's all Sam there, folks.
Yeah.
So I will at some point in my life play this game because I promised them I would. I just don't know when that will happen. So all righty, we got a few more games to talk about, but before we do, let's jump back with Mark.
Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and today we're going to go on an epic journey along the Victory Road, and we're also going to be taking on the role of androids or robots trying to infiltrate an evil corporation. Also, the Kirby's are going to stop by, so let's get to it. And first up, we have Burn Cycle. Now, as you'd expect, this is a chip theory game, so it's going to have all the amazing components and quality you've come to expect from these people. Just fantastic. Got a quick glimpse at it. Now, I only played the TTS version, Tabletop Simulator, and only the first level of a building. And your whole goal here is to infiltrate this evil corporation and shut them down as you're taking on the role of robots that are rising up against these evil humans, trying to vanquish AI in the world, I suppose. But there's a lot of neat things here. You have to work keypads on doors. You have to be super sneaky to avoid the guards. Lots of neat things. There's terminals to access that allow you to look into other rooms. You get all kinds of neat powers and things. And my favorite part is the power distribution. You have to use power as health, but also as ways to upgrade your character and do bigger and better things. You're using dice for action points and so forth. So lots of neat things about this game. A little bit different preview because I didn't have an actual physical copy, but I did get to play. Fantastic. Really enjoyed this one. All right, let's give it over to the Kirby's for Penny Dreadfun.
Hi guys, I'm Randy.
I'm Melon.
And today we are sitting and swinging. We are not walking and talking
Nope.
because it's 70 degrees in the middle of November in Wisconsin. So we're
Unheard
outside
of.
enjoying that.
Yes, we are.
We are talking Penny Dreadfun, which is a cooperative deck building game with some board movement and things. And this one is where you have to take actions. You actually have to like move to the actions.
Yes.
So you want to buy something, you move to the buy space. You want to fight a villain, you go find one of them on the map.
And sometimes the villains find you.
Yeah.
They can move around
Right,
in
with their
between
scheme
turns.
cards,
Yeah,
yep.
the scheme cards and interact with you whether you want it or not.
Yep. And once you find one of those enemies, you can make an encounter. You actually can choose from like an array of cards. So
Yes.
at the time, you can figure out who you might be able to beat and then fight them.
Also, I was trying to think of a word to describe the art, and I keep saying steampunk, but I don't think it's that. It's like a ghoulish, like Victorian England setting, which is
Yeah.
kind of different.
It's an interesting theme.
It
sure.
is.
Yeah.
Very
With
neat.
some resource collection, some hand management and things. A couple of nice mechanics that we really enjoy. So
Yeah.
check out Penny Dreadfun.
Do it.
And next up we have Archenshield. Archenshield is a deck builder. It has a lot of the typical things you can think of. You're trying to build up your deck with better cards, using resources to pay for those cards and so forth. However, you have to balance those resources now because you're moving along the victory road, also competing in challenges, hitting up inns to get more companions to help you along your way. Really neat things here. And you have to have a certain level of experience to move along the road in certain areas. So you're trying to get to the end and have the most victory points. But, you know, I took a look at the single player game where there's an AI and you're playing against a commander who's also moving along a road, and he can bring assassins and all kinds of things can happen. Pretty neat, actually, how that works. Now, the game has all kinds of modes. You can do head-to-head, you can do this AI, this commander you're fighting against as a single player, or you can do teams 2-on-2. So there's a lot of different ways to play this game, and the theme and the cards is it's just a beautiful looking game. Definitely worth checking out. All right, so my pick of the week. Now, this deck builder, Archenshield, really was well done, and it might be one of the more interesting deck builders I've played lately, but I love cooperative games, and I love what Chip Theory does with their games and their quality. Oh my gosh, and the way the theme really shines through in Burn's Cycle. Absolutely, 100% gets my vote for Game of the Week for me, and I can't wait to play this game more. Absolutely going to be one that's going in my library. All right, folks, if you want any more information about any of the games we mentioned here, please go check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Well, all right, folks, we are back, and we are now looking at a game. You know, we talk about games that have a lot of the same artwork as other stuff. And this one is a very different style. This one here is Townsfolk Tussle. And I want to say this is Betty Boop style, I guess. I don't know what
now. Are you either of you familiar with the indie video game called Cuphead? Because to me, this is the Cuphead style.
Thank you, Mike. I was actually trying to on the sly search for that. I bought the game Cuphead for the Switch and I played it. And it's too hard, so I don't play it anymore.
Yeah, it is very hard, right? That's what I've heard. I haven't played it, but it's vintage cartoons, I guess is what you might call this, which is what they call
Willie.
Right, and I love the look. It's actually
Me too.
was a game that came out recently, which I reviewed, called the Grand Carnival, which has a similar look a little bit. This one, even more so. It really doubles down on that look. I find that style incredibly charming. I really do. I find it fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what this game looks like? It looks like Kingdom Death Monster almost. No. I'm serious. It has these big enemies, and then they're programmed, and you fight through them. There's a ruffian that you go in with a town, you set them up, and then you have cards and fight against them. And I was thinking, well, that's kind of how Kingdom Death Monster has that big monster, and you go in and you fight it and everything. I like this a lot better than that, but this is not the kind of game I would expect with this artwork. This is like a miniature combat tactical game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it you want to talk about a polished project, and this is their first created project.
But it feels like they've done something else in their lives.
They had to have, Tom. They had to have, because this is one of the most impressive, professional-looking projects we've looked at ever, I would say. I think this just really looks so distinctive.
I mean, look at that. Look at the way they did that, the achievements. Yeah. That design, beautiful. Mm-hmm. I love the clothesline vibe going on. That's great. I love that. Yeah. I'm telling you, I agree with Mike. Outside of like outside of like a big player, I'm not talking about the scale of the game, right? I'm talking about the look of everything, nailing look after look, banner after banner, design after design, the way they quote people, the way that's done. I agree, man. This is a truly good-looking game. Now, I don't know about the game itself.
Right.
It looks pretty good. I'm hoping it's great. It looks pretty good. But the way this is all put together, whew, yes.
Yeah, it really is impressive.
I'm very impressed. All right. Jumping to another unique art style game.
Yeah.
Wander Squares, The Underwood Tunnels. Now, I thought at first this might be an RPG, but it looks close to like maybe a mix. It's almost more choose your own adventure than anything else, from what I can tell.
Seems to be.
Yeah, it's kind of in between choose your own adventure and an RPG. It sort of sounds RPG-ish. The players, I mean, isn't that kind of what an RPG is, though? You know, you're presented with something, you pick how to deal with it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but it doesn't matter. We can talk about it anyway. I think the look of this is very unique. It's not necessarily a look I love, but I'll give it again, it's just something much better, and it looks like the guy said he created this to teach his kids about RPGs. That makes me want to play this with kids.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good, actually. I think the look of it is the thing I'm most excited about. The actual gameplay is one that doesn't necessarily spark as much interest in me, but I think the look of it is really impressive.
Yeah, I agree. I like this look. Tom, you say man, but again, it's artwork. It's totally up to everybody who's looking at this. We don't even have to tell you whether we like it or not. You can at a glance be like, oh, I like it, or I don't. Mm-hmm. I really like it. I think it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he also has like this, you draw your own monsters and stuff. It's like a kit for creativity for kids, and I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. My only concern here is, after I looked at pretty much everything here, my concern is this seems to be expensive for how much game content you get. Mm-hmm. Like, the game doesn't seem that long, is what I'm saying. You have, 30 some tiles, I think, 30 some cards or 40 some cards. That's it. And then the book with the little stories, little blurbs. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot in there. It looks really distinct. It looks pretty. It looks like a cool choose your own adventure RPG thing, especially for kids. It kind of feels like, hey, buy book one, and there's more. There's definitely more. But this is, it feels. I wonder if it's gonna feel complete.
Yeah, hard to say. Yeah,
I'm gonna get it for my family, I think. So
this is another one where it's a first time project too, right? I mean, more and more you've got to say that there are some, and I'm not trying to turn a positive into a negative, but I guess to some extent I am. you know, there are some companies that have been doing this over and over again, and they're consistently putting out projects that don't look very impressive. And you see these first-time creators, and they're coming correct.
No excuse to those other people, right?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If a first-time person can do it, then you can do it.
Right.
I agree.
The Treasure of Monte Cristo Island. Now, this one here is interesting to me. Oh, never mind. I was about to say it's interesting because it's raised so much money, and I just realized now it only has 78 backers.
Yeah. Also, my biggest issue with this game is that I have no idea how to play it. They don't really talk. All you know is that it's a cooperative game. There's really no information about the gameplay much at all. And so that is a little bit concerning to me. Their video I thought was nice. I thought they did a nice job in the video, except that they weren't really selling me the game. I really don't know what it's about.
Them.
Yes.
Which is, I think, works for me. I'll tell you. I agree with you, Mike, that you don't really walk away going, I understand all the mechanisms of this game. I don't care, because the vibe I'm getting is a bunch of gamer friends put together their own co-op. And this is straddling the line for me between board game designers and their libraries of mechanical, designs. And hey, this is clearly a family that put together some Take That game. You know what I mean? Not that this is a Take That, but it lands between those two things. There's a certain charm here.
I agree.
That feels like it came from just a few friends sort of putting something together. It works.
I just calculated it out, Z. The average backing is $709 a backer.
Yeah, because it's probably all people that they know, I assume, or they're just a bunch of money laundering thieves.
That represent the opinions of the Dice Tower.
I'm only of two opinions. I really like these people, and they made something very charming, or they're all ruffians and are clearly up to no good.
It is a pirate game. I mean, look, it is in theme. It's a pirate game.
I don't know. Okay. Let's move on. Roll in one. Yet somebody else.
Let's move on.
Yet somebody else tries to make a golf game. I'm telling you, everyone tries to make a golf game because you think a golf game lends itself to board games, right? You roll dice, you make the course. Yeah. This one doesn't look terrible. I don't know why the animal thing's in there.
I also don't feel like it feels like golf. To me, it feels almost more like a racing game than a golf.
That's true.
Right?
Move your balls in the hole. The first one there wins.
It looks more like the Quest for El Dorado than it does like, Augusta. It's just, I mean, it might be a fine game, but it doesn't feel like it would really evoke a golf theme.
I guess if I had to play a golf game, this would be my pick.
Z Garcia, the Dice Tower.
You can quote me on that. I guess if I had to play a golf game.
All right, let's jump to the very other extreme, the Longest Trench. Play the entire World War I in a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't look as much of a war game as a warish type game, since it looks simpler than these games. I don't like these pictures of the soldiers making goofball faces.
Yeah. Yeah,
it looks like they just took pictures and ran them through a filter on Photoshop.
Yeah,
I don't really like the look of this game. I don't like the graphic design. I don't know. It's not really necessarily my style of game anyway. But beyond that, there's nothing about it that really is making me think, this is a game that really is bringing something new to the table. I mean, it just doesn't have that look to me.
What about you, Z? If you'd play one?
I'd rather play, gosh, I don't know. There were two war games we looked at. I'm trying to think if I like this one better or the other one better. The other one was more traditional. Big board, dudes on a board, right? Mm-hmm. I like this because has a war theme, but it's outside of that because it's clearly got the cards and all of that action going on. I think I like this one better.
And I do have to say this to almost pull back from my harsh words. I would have said the same thing about Blitzkrieg before I played it, because it's not a really exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
Game, but that is a crackerjack of a game. I really like Blitzkrieg, and this may have a similar, feel to that. So maybe I should be a little more open-minded here.
You should be more open-minded, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump to Core Space Firstborn. This is a revised, or I guess a sequel to Core Space. This is from the same people who made that game that you played, Z, right? Deep Waters, maybe?
Wait, what? Let me see. Hold on. What company?
No, never mind. I was confused. Never mind. All they made was Core Space. We had Core Space sitting in our shelf for a really long time. No one ever touched it.
Yeah.
This looks cool painted.
Yeah.
Every picture here shows it fully painted with the background. Like, that's really cool.
Well, I'll tell you a couple of things. I don't love the look of it just as a whole project, but the thing that I am kind of positive about is that the price is not overwhelming. It seems like a pretty reasonable price. I like the idea that they've got that kind of terrain that's right there in the box. You can pop that up. I don't know. I'm torn on this one. It looks like it might be a nice little tactical, skirmish game. But also, I don't love the look of it, the graphic design, the fonts they're using. I know that I get a little bit of grief about that. But look, the aesthetics of the game mean a lot to me.
I do like those aliens, though, that have like super long stilt legs.
Yeah, these don't look too bad. But that's what I'm saying. I'm torn on this.
I just have to know the difference between this and the many other games of this genre, but it might be good.
Yeah.
All right,
If you can only play one, would it be this one? Sorry.
No, not at all, because something like that vintage cartoon one exists. Like you put that next to this. Oh my goodness, one of those feels different. Right. The other one, I could look at it and go, haven't I seen this before?
Yeah.
I think I've seen this. This is a reprint. It's like the space game miniatures, the board game. That's what this is. So who knows?
Right.
This one here, I just added, gentlemen, Velocity Vanguard.
I don't recognize that.
What's up? What's up?
I don't think it matters because it doesn't look like it's going to fund. It's only at 17,000. I have 8,000, 84,000. If you want your space board to look beautiful, that's a good way to do it, though.
Tom, is this giving you a Sovereign Skies vibe? Because this is really giving me just off first glance, because I hadn't looked at this before, but this is giving me, at least visually, a bit of a Sovereign Skies.
I don't know if I like the board. I like this sideboard stuff. Moving around, it looks like a.
Oh, I don't know. I'm out.
Like drift in space? Is that what's happening?
I'm out.
Well, technically, but that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Your ship starts and you keep moving until you stop.
Don't talk to me about science, okay?
To me, that whole thing had an X-wing feel, and I'm not into it.
Alrighty, yeah. Well, I don't think it's gonna fund, unfortunately. So.
Hey, Tabletop Simulator, you can just go play it, folks.
That's right. Maybe you like it.
Alrighty, let's jump to coffee hot sauce with real brewed coffee.
There you go, Tom.
What?
There you go.
I don't like coffee, so I would not get this hot sauce.
Wait. What is this? Is it coffee or is it hot sauce? Is it coffee made from hot sauce or hot sauce made from coffee?
Have you ever put hot sauce on your food and you thought, what I'm missing is that rich coffee bean flavor on my mashed potatoes?
Let me lay this out for you. It's a smoky blend of chipotle peppers with a habanero kick, but it's rounded out by real brewed coffee. That's what it is, Z. And it lasts forever, or at least until the next day at around 4 p.m.
Well, if there's one thing I know is that these guys like to take pictures of themselves and have a cartoon made of that same picture.
They do, yeah. It's a good look.
This is so confusing.
That's my goal has been accomplished, folks. This is the one I found. If you find weird Kickstarters, send them to me and I'll put them in the show at the end.
Right.
Let's go to picks of the week. I know it. Let's do Mike's first because we all know what it is.
We do. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, if I had said design a game for me, it would probably be this game.
Well, it'd have a picture of you looking young in it, but yes.
There is that too. But this game, like, checks every single box that I can think of. I'm already into the designers' games, both of them that are working on it. I love the artist. I love the theme. I love the aesthetic of it. I mean, there's nothing about this game that is unappealing to me. And so this is, in a good week, a really good week, this is heads and tails. And in any other week, it probably would be the game, the Cuphead looking game. But this game is just so high up on my list that this is the one for me.
All right. What about you, Z?
Yeah. This is my 2. This would be my second pick. I'm flip-flopping with Mike. My pick is the Cuphead-looking game.
Yeah.
That townsfolk tussle.
Yeah.
Just where is it? There it is.
Okay.
No. Yes.
I got you. This doesn't look like your style game, though.
I like some minis games. I mean, this looks like what I don't like is freeform miniature fighting. These guys have really it's on a grid. And they actually, their bases are square, so it's really clear it's on a grid. So I don't mind that, right? I like the fighting, the man. This theme just goes such a long way. I love all the minis, the way they look. No, this is kind of my style, Tom. I think this has become my style, but it's certainly something that attracts me.
You like Unmatched, right? It's
I guess Tom maybe means more because of the miniatures, but there's a lot of miniature fighty games that I tend to enjoy, and this one seems so different aesthetically and thematically different that I'm all over it, man. I'm truly tempted to back this. I kid you not, and that's pretty rare for me. But honestly, this week was popping, man.
You know what? Let me throw another thing in the mix here. And this is not my pick of the week, but it is a good game. And I just realized this one is ending in 8 days, so it meets our criteria. And this could have been almost Mike's pick of the week.
Here we go.
And that's Burn Cycle.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's not fair. Yeah.
Because it's chip theory?
Yeah, and I've really... I didn't start off because I hadn't played. I had played Too Many Bones once, and it was just a mind-blowing experience for me. I had a hard time really grasping it. But then, that was when I was playing it with somebody. I played it solo, and as I've done that, I've gotten to internalize the rules more. And so now, it's a really enjoyable experience because I'm not thinking about the rules. I'm just thinking about what I'm doing. And then Cloudspire came, and I really liked that. And I love this theme, this Burn Cycle theme. It kind of has that District 9 feel to it, where it's the robots against the humans. And I think that's a really cool approach to a theme that could have been very generic. It doesn't feel generic to me here. So I'm sticking with Endless Winter because that game is just fantastic. But this would be like a special mention for me, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. These are the kind of games I have to wait and see when I play them because they're so complex that it's hard to tell. Like I thought Cloudspire was fine; it was good. I think I like the first one better.
Too Many Bones.
This one, Too Many Bones. This one looks cool. I'm not sure I like the artwork that much, but I like how the game looks.
All right.
Yeah, I dig it.
Well, you know what?
What is your pick?
I was really torn because I was going to pick between the two that you picked. But you know what? I'll just pick Freedom 5. It's Dice Tower Essentials. Yay!
There you go.
I can pick this now with freedom of heart. So
yes,
I'll pick this one. It has what I like. It has Richard Launius, Defenders of the Realm. It's Arcane Wonders, and I know the production's really good. And it has the Sentinels of Multiverse, which I've liked that universe since the very beginning. It also made 700,000 since we started this, so that's pretty. I mean, it didn't make that since we started this video.
Yeah, that'd be impressive.
It broke 700,000.
That would be insane.
Yes.
Well, there have been Kickstarter campaigns that have made 700,000 in the course of an hour. Not many, but there's been a few. We would like to dice out.
I'm telling you, this week has has a bunch of stuff that actually looks good to me. So Townsfolk Tussle was my one, but then Endless Winter, Freedom 5. That Coco Pelli whatever game looks pretty good. Feed the Kraken. The Wonder Squares RPG thing. The Treasure of Monte Cristo Island looks pretty interesting to me. It's a good week. Tom, you've outdone yourself.
Yeah, you did all right. And it even makes up for that hot sauce garbage. This was a good week.
That was disgusting.
Folks, thanks so much for watching Crowdsurfing. Thanks to Mark for his stuff and for Roy for editing and putting this together. Thank you all for watching. We will be back live tomorrow with our board game breakfast. Also, I believe Dice Tower tonight at 9 o'clock. So come by, see our stuff live. We got more videos going up all the time, including our 12 Days of Christmas video series going up this week. 12 Games of Christmas.
Yeah.
So anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Mike Delisio.
Have fun fighting for freedom.